right now. Okay. Is everybody else good? We are right now. Okay. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thanks to those who are here in the chamber. Thanks to those who are following on BevCam. Thanks to Kim in the BevCam booth for making sure that our meeting is streaming live and accessible for those who are following at home. Before I officially call the meeting to order, I will go ahead and run through the agenda as I usually do, just so we can all be on the same page with what's before us this evening. So as we open the agenda this evening, we do have 5 public speakers signed up in the comments, the public comment portion. That's 3 minutes per speaker, and so we have all 5 slots are filled this evening. And thank you to those folks who are signed up and here to use those spots. We appreciate that, and I'll say more about how that time works when we get to it. We have 1 public hearing. This is continued from our last meeting. This is at 7:45 with National Grid. This is a petition to install some underground conduit. And then we have some routine business we'll take care of, take a break for subcommittee work, and then come back to finish it all up. So with that, I will officially call to order this regular meeting of the Beverly City Council, Monday, November 18th, 2024, 7:00 p.m. Ms. Kent, will you please call the roll?
Bowen? Here. Crowley? Here. Feldman? Here. Hausman? Here. Rotundo? Here. Spang? Here. St. Hilaire? Here. Sweeney? Here. And Flowers.
Here. Thank you, Ms. Kent. Councilor Bowen, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much, Councilor Bowen. So we will go right to the comments portion at the top of our agenda. As I mentioned, this is a slot that's available at every regular meeting. We have up to 5 slots for public comment from folks who live or work in the city of Beverly. And you can sign up for these spots by contacting the city clerk no later than 9:30 the morning of the meeting. And they're first come, first serve. And so once there are 5 speakers signed up, Ms. Kent would let you know that if you were calling after that time. Each speaker gets 3 minutes, and when we get to that, I will have Vice President Crowley hold the time just to make sure that we're giving everyone an equitable amount of time. So speakers, if you would, when you hear the timer go off, if you're still speaking, just draw that sentence to a close. I want to make sure that we do hold everybody to the same time so that it's fair and equitable for everyone. And thank you for that. And the only other thing I like to mention as we get into this time on our agenda is that it is a time for the public to come and address the council, and we are appreciative. It's always really good to have people here using those spots. It's not a time when you'll hear councilors, there's not a question, answer, or a back and forth. So you won't hear councilors responding to the speakers, but it doesn't mean that we're not listening and that these things that are shared with us during this time don't inform our future conversations and things that we are talking about. So with that, I'll go in the order that speakers signed up with Ms. Kent, our city clerk. And Councilor Crowley, I assured them that their name and address didn't have to count in their 3 minutes. I know you started after that, but so we'll go with Vanessa Ford first. And even though I just gave away your name, if you would start with your name and address for the record, and then you have 3 minutes.
My name is Vanessa Ford. I live at 180 Oakwood Street in Beverly. I stand before you tonight as a BPS parent, but also a veteran public school teacher and an advocate for inclusive and equitable schools. Through 22 years in the field, I know one thing clearly. Teachers are the heart of communities. Beverly teachers are the heart of ours. In fact, I actually wanted to be one. When JR and I moved here in 2017, my kids, Ronnie and Ellie, begged me to teach here. And our family couldn't sustain the massive pay gap between what I was making in Washington, D.C. and what I would make here in Beverly. So instead of joining a classroom, I dedicated my time to supporting the teachers and administration over the years in our schools. Over the past week, I've spoken with dozens of educators, and they are hurting. They miss our students deeply. Even in this difficult moment, though, their love shines through. One teacher told me, "I love my students because they make me a better person." Another said, "I love them because of their energy, curiosity, and kindness. It fills me with indescribable joy." And another says, "They need someone to love them and believe in them when others don't."
Our teachers are not turning their backs on students in this strike. In fact, I'm proud to say they are teaching our students to stand up against systems that are failing them. Beverly's teachers are showing immense courage by taking this stand. So now it's time for us to show them they are not alone. So I'm calling for 3 actions. Hopefully. First, I call for an open, clear, and transparent Q&A forum with the mayor and budgeting leadership. We deserve accountability on how funds are allocated and assurance that they are being used to maximize the potential of every Beverly resident, especially educators and students. Transparency is essential to earning and maintaining the trust of people you serve, and right now that trust is lacking. In addition to the mayor, it's time for you to come to City Council and request an increased budget that provides our educators with a living wage, a fair parental leave policy, and resources they deserve. And finally, to all of you, the City Council, when the school committee comes to you with these requests, as they can and have been done in the past, please approve them. Use your vote to stand with teachers who stand with our children every day. Vote to honor their work and prioritize education. In closing, when my former 6th grade student graduated college, he sent me a handwritten note with a Malala quote that I literally carry with me on my body. Let us remember, 1 book, 1 pen, 1 child, and 1 teacher can change the world. Beverly's teachers are trying to do just that, change the world for our children, but they cannot do it without support. It takes all of us and the steps outlined above to give them the chance to do it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Ford. The next speaker signed up is Caleb McCauley. And Mr. McCauley, if you also begin with your name and address for the record, and then you'll have up to 3 minutes as well.
Hello, my name's Caleb McCauley. I live at 3 Henderson Avenue, Ward 3. Thank you so much for letting me speak tonight. My whole topic tonight is about the strike. But to me, this is not about a contract dispute anymore. This is about us as a community in Beverly standing up for what we truly believe in. Do we believe in educating our children? And if so, do we truly care about those educators who do that amazing work? Now, look, I know all of our kids right now are super dysregulated, but here are a few other things that are dysregulating. Having an entire wing of bathrooms where children, many with special needs, are told they have to use toilet paper and throw it into a trash can because the toilets will overflow and back up if they flush it. Another thing that is dysregulating is losing amazing educators because losing amazing educators that your children with special needs depend on because other towns nearby will pay them better. I could truly go on and on about dysregulation that happens through the school year. The crazy part is there's so many more issues that go on that do not get talked about because the amazing teachers, and especially the paras, find a way to get our kiddos back on track. Now look, even though I said this is not about a contract dispute anymore, I know budgets are real. And I know we need to seriously look at increasing the budget. And that brings up the elephant in the room. A large percentage of Beverly residents do not have a child in the public school system. But that does not mean that they do not have a part in the fight. You do not have a rising community, you do not have a thriving city without a thriving public school system. We have an opportunity to invest in Beverly, which will make us a leader in gaining and keeping the top educators in the field. Or, if not, teachers will leave, then families will leave, and eventually residents will leave. And Beverly will regress, just like our children do without support. And I don't want that to happen. Finally, I feel the 4th year for the BTA is very important because if we do not have a 4th year for them, we have no clue what the changes will happen in our educational system federally over the next 4 years. So retaining and supporting those professionals will mean everything. I would like to end with a memory, something Mayor Cahill said. A resident asked why Beverly doesn't have the power grid like Danvers does. And he said, we missed our opportunity. We should have invested 20 years ago. Well, I don't want to look back 5 to 10 years from now looking and thinking that we missed our opportunity to invest in our public schools. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. McCauley. The next speaker signed up for this evening is Brendan Landry. And Mr. Landry, if you as well would begin, name and address for the record, and then you have up to 3 minutes as well.
Great. Yeah, my name is Brendan Landry, 3 Greenleaf Drive. I'm here also to speak on the teacher strike. I'm a Beverly resident. I'm a parent of 2 students at Centerville Elementary School. And I want to start by talking about my personal connection to teachers and paras specifically. Over 20 years ago, I took a job as a very recent college grad as a para-educator for a Head Start program in Aurora, Colorado. So I understand to a certain degree both the role, the work, and the value that that role brings to a learning environment. And now as a parent, I get to experience that value in my own child's learning. My wife and I give almost all the credit to the para in my daughter's kindergarten class for her being the strong, confident reader she is today. And not only that, I know that the presence of that para also allowed for the rest of Esme's classmates to get more hands-on support, which is the kind of learning experience one might expect from a place like Beverly. All those years ago, again, fresh-faced, college grad, 0 experience, I was paid a salary of $19,000 a year. Now, as a parent, I'm aware that many educators, some with 20-plus years of experience and expertise, are paid $20,000 per year in 2024 to play the same role. This was not a livable wage for me in 2002, and is certainly not a livable wage for them today, and it is not commensurate to the value that these educators bring to our school system. I urge you to do the right thing, to recognize this value, get our teachers back to work and our kids back to school. In preparing for this meeting, I reached out to some of my friends and fellow parents in Beverly to try to understand a broader perspective, and this is what I learned. Parents are concerned about the lack of fundings impacting their kids' educational opportunities, citing things like the cutting of music programs, lack of key support staff in schools, and issues like we've already heard about with some of the facilities. Parents believe that a better school system benefits everyone in terms of property values, quality of life. No one loses with a better school system, even those without kids in the system. Parents see our educators as the key to bringing about the next generation of Beverly residents who are intelligent, engaged, and bright leaders. They see this as a worthy investment, even if it means accepting higher taxes. And finally, parents are frustrated by lack of transparency and the confusion around how funding for schools is leveraged, how decisions are made, and how those decisions impact our community as a whole. I'll close with this. It is my understanding that this body, per the city charter, has the ability to subpoena any city official for questioning. And I implore this council to exercise this option and subpoena members of the school committee and the mayor, if necessary, to directly address questions at a future meeting to provide some much-needed transparency for community members like me who so eagerly await a solution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Landry. And I see our next speaker already knows she's up. It's Katie Kraft. Ms. Kraft, if you also would begin with your name and address for the record, and then you have up to 3 minutes.
My name is Katie Kraft. I live at 1 Emily Way, and thank you for allowing me this opportunity to address the council. I am also here tonight to address my concerns about how our city is funding our schools. I am the parent of 2 boys in 8th and 5th grade and have served as the PTO president at BMS and on the PTO board at Cove over the last 8 years. I've spent a lot of time in these buildings. Our schools are in crisis. As the City Council's own budget analysis report stated, Beverly is a complex and challenging city, and this is clear when you step into our schools. From population growth to the ongoing recovery from COVID, our students have increased needs, and this is putting higher demands on all school services. While the strike has been a major disruption, we will only experience other severe disruptions if we do not provide a fair contract that is competitive and shows our staff that they are valued for their experience and contributions. One of my children is on an IEP. We made the difficult decision to remove him from the district due to lack of resources to effectively provide services for his dyslexia, large class sizes, lack of breaks in the day, and dysregulated students interrupting the classrooms, which resulted in so much anxiety, he became fearful of school. Our decision was not based on our experiences with the staff in the building. who were well informed of his needs and did the best they could with the resources they had. Teachers and paras who are asked to do more and more without the appropriate resources will result in poor outcomes for all students. Last year, my 8th grader experienced what it might look like district-wide if we cannot reach a fair contract. Between September and January, 3 of his teachers left their positions. It took weeks to fill the science teacher position, and I can only imagine the impact that will have when they sit to take science MCAS this year. His global apps class had 3 different teachers in the first trimester. The lack of consistency in that classroom led to frequent serious behavior issues. His ELA class was quickly covered with an internal candidate, but the disruption of the change still had an impact. And 2 of the 3 teachers who did not leave were also brand new to Beverly schools that year. We were lucky. Despite the challenges, we ended up with a professional team of teachers who worked hard to mitigate the learning losses caused by these disruptions. Beverly is an incredible place to live. We have the ocean, acres of open space, and a vibrant downtown. We also have a potential to be the top school system. Beverly schools have led the way on many initiatives, such as curriculum improvements to align with the science of reading and establishing a variety of high school pathways to lead students towards successful careers. The one bright spot in these challenging weeks has been the way our community has come together. I believe the community supports you all in finding a way to fund our schools, whether it be reallocating resources or leveraging the Beverly tax base. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Kraft. And our 5th speaker is Stephanie Jalbert. And I apologize if I mispronounced your last name.
That sounds much better than it
Did I
actually
make it
is.
fancy?
Yeah, you did.
If you could repeat your name the way that you would pronounce it, and then your address for the record, and then you have up to 3 minutes.
Yes, my name is Stephanie Jalbert, and I live at 2 Greening Way in Beverly. I am here tonight because as a parent of a 5th grader at BMS and 2 2nd graders at Cove, I am outraged. Beverly is better than this. All I have to say to the school committee is you knew. You knew this was going to happen. You are asking teachers to get back to work and that you will continue to work with them, but they can't do that because they have tried to do that for the past 9 months. I am a Beverly native. I attended Cove, then Briscoe, and then BHS. Beverly has always been known to have a special community. People don't leave here because of how wonderful it is. Well, I am telling you right now, Beverly's reputation is going downhill. I am extremely involved at Cove School. I'm the PTO president there, and I'm slowly becoming involved at BMS. My family is also very much involved in the Beverly community. My parents are Francine and Alan Temkin, for those of you that know them, and I think some of you do. I have also known Mike Cahill for a very long time, and this pains me to be standing up here in this position, but I am a mom, and my kids need to go to school. I'm going to get personal, because I'm trying here. At my daughter's recent IEP meeting, I was asked, what are my goals? Well, my goals are that my daughter thrives at school, but not any school. I want her to thrive at Beverly Public Schools, because I believe, or I did believe, that there is really something special here. However, she cannot do that if she's not in school, and I'm very concerned for her when school gets back into session, because time off like this is detrimental to these kids. These teachers are incredible. They go above and beyond their call of duty. They have become our family. They are some of the greatest people I have ever met. And the way my kids look up to them and want to be around them speaks volumes of their character. And they continue to look out for their students year after year. I also can't even begin to acknowledge the paras and the effect they have had on my family. They're always helping my children and the many other kids in the school. I go into the classrooms quite often, and if there is a behavioral issue or emotional issue, who steps in but the paras? When a teacher is out sick and there are no subs, who steps in? The paras. And because we do not have enough staff, the kids that are on IEPs that they are supposed to be working with suffer. I will close with this. I am scared. I am scared that we are going to lose some of our greatest teachers and paras. They can easily go and find other jobs and make more money and get exactly what they are fighting for. I am also scared because for the first time, I am questioning Beverly Public Schools for my children. Because if we lose the teachers, the backbone of our community, well, then we will not be far behind. The backbone of our community, well, then we will not be far behind. And I'm pretty confident that other families will follow. The teachers and this community is what keeps us here. And right now, our community is in trouble. I've had many conversations with my kids this past week about what is going on and how there are two sides. But they understand that their people are fighting. They are fighting for what's right, they are fighting for fairness, and they are teaching our children a lesson. You do not back down. When something is not right, you speak up, and if it's a correct or fair thing, you will have a community of people that have your back. The Beverly community needs you to figure out a way to make this work. Please negotiate. Teachers cannot go back to school without a contract. City Council, Mayor, and School Committee, please figure this out. Your job is to represent the constituents in the community, and the community wants you to give the teachers a contract that will get them back to work.
Thank you very much, Ms. Jalbert. Thank you to all 5 of our speakers for being here and for signing up for this public comment section of the meeting. And for those who are watching, following at home, as you heard me say at the beginning, this public comment section is on every regular agenda. And so if you are wondering how you can sign up to come and speak, you would do that by contacting our city clerk. As I said, no later than 9:30 the morning of the meeting. And it's first come, first served. Thank you to everybody who is here. You are welcome to stay with us as long as you wish. You are also welcome and free to leave at any time that you wish. So thank you very much. Counselors, we will jump into the agenda before we get to our public hearing time. So we'll go to communications from His Honor the Mayor. Ms. Kent, please.
Order number 312, Dear Honorable City Council, I am pleased to inform you that the City of Beverly has been awarded a $163,635 FY25 state formula grant from the Executive Office of Elder Affairs. This annual grant funding is based on 10,909 senior citizens age 60 or older living in Beverly at $15 senior and supports operation of the Council on Aging. Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53A requires both City Council and Mayor approval before any grant, earmark, donation, or gift can be approved. I therefore request the City Council react at this upcoming meeting. Sincerely yours, Michael P. Cahill, Mayor.
Please refer that to the Committee on Finance and Property.
I made that up. Dear Honorable
We'll
City
react in some way.
Yes. Dear Honorable City Council, I am pleased to inform you that the City of Beverly Harbor Master Department has received a 1994 19-foot Ned rib powerboat with trail donation from the Beverly Sailing Association. This donation is valued at $19,800 for tax purposes. The boat will be used by the Harbor Master Department to replace the current outdated underbridge boat, which is a 1976 20-foot Boston whaler, and by the Beverly High School sailing team in the spring fall as a chase boat. Mass General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53A requires both City Council and Mayor approval before any grant, earmark, gift, or donation to the city can be expended for their prescribed purpose. I therefore request the City Council approve this donation by acting on this matter at your upcoming meetings. Sincerely yours, Michael P. Cahill, Mayor.
Please refer that to the Committee on Finance and Property.
Order number 314. Dear Honorable City Council, I respectfully request that the City Council vote to accept the state-local option available to allow those property owners eligible for deferral of a current year real estate property tax to also defer payments of charges for the use of common sewer. Mass General Law, Chapter 83, Section 16G allows for deferral of these payments for those property owners receiving an exemption from real property taxes under General Law, Chapter 59, Section 5, Clause 41A. The city already operates a senior real property tax deferred program under Clause 41A, which allows certain residents 65 or over to defer payment of their real property tax until their home is sold or conveyed, subject to a tax deferral and recovery agreement. Accepting this proposal, local option will allow residents who receive an exemption under Clause 41A to also request to defer payments of charges for the use of the common sewers until their home is sold or conveyed. Please initiate action at this matter at your upcoming meeting. Sincerely yours, Michael P. Cahill, Mayor.
Please refer that to the Committee on Finance and Property.
Order number 315, Dear Honorable City Council, I respectfully request the City Council vote to accept the state-local option available to allow those property owners eligible for deferral of a current year's real property tax to also defer payments of water supply charges. Mass General Law, Chapter 40, Section 42J allows for deferral of these payments for those property owners receiving an exemption from real property taxes under General Law, Chapter 59, Section 5, Clause 41A. The city already operates a senior real property tax deferred program under Clause 41A, which allows certain residents 65 or over to defer payment of the real property taxes until their home is sold or conveyed, subject to a tax deferral and recovery agreement. Accepting this proposed local option will allow residents who receive an exemption under Clause 41A to also request to defer payment of water supply charges until their home is sold or conveyed. Please initiate action on this matter at your upcoming meeting. Sincerely yours, Michael P. Cahill, Mayor.
Please refer that to the Committee on Finance and Property.
Order number 316, dear Honorable City Council, I respectfully request the City Council vote to accept the state-local option available to allow those property owners eligible for deferral of a current year's real property tax to also defer payments of betterment charges. Mass General Law, Chapter 80, Section 13B allows for betterment assessment, deferral, and recovery agreements with property owners eligible for an exemption from real property taxes under General Law, Chapter 59, Section 5, Clause 41A. The city already operates a senior real property tax deferral program under Clause 41A, which allows certain residents 65 or over to defer payment of their real property taxes until their home is sold or conveyed, subject to a tax deferral and recovery agreement. Accepting this proposed local option will allow residents who qualify under Clause 41A and enter into a recovery agreement to also defer payments of betterment assessments until their home is sold or conveyed. Please initiate action on this at your upcoming meeting. Sincerely yours, Michael P. Cahill, Mayor.
Please refer that to the Committee on Finance and Property.
Order number 317, Mayor Michael Cahill's notice of appointment to city office under City Charter, Section 3-3. Name of appointee Kenny Clausen, Assistant Planning Director, to serve on the Design Review Board. His term will be effective till December 1st, 2026. Mr. Clausen will serve on an interim basis as a Planning Department representative filling the seat formerly held by Jared Contrada. I respectfully request you review this appointment in accordance with Section 2-10 of the City Charter. Thank you for your consideration. Sincerely yours, Michael P. Cahill, Mayor.
Please refer that to the Committee on Legal Affairs.
Order number 318. Mayor Michael Cahill's notice of appointment to city office under City Charter, Section 3-3. Name of appointee Lacey Chandler, the city engineer, 191 Cabot Street, Beverly, to serve on the Bike and Pedestrian Advisory Committee for a term lasting till February 5th, 2027. Please see the attached statement of interest. I request to review this appointment in accordance with Section 2-10 of the City Charter. Thank you for your consideration.
Please refer that to the Committee on Public Services.
Order number 319, Mayor Michael Cahill's notice of appointment to city office under City Charter, Section 3-3. Name of appointee. I forget the first name. Anybody know the first name? Aldi Hall? Elida Hall?
Says Ailey on the resume.
Ailey Hall, to serve on the Conservation Commission till June 30th, 2027. I respectfully ask that the City Council waive the registered voter requirement as Ms. Hall holds a green card which does not entitle her to vote. Please see the attached statement of interest. I respectfully request you review this appointment in accordance with Section 2-10 of the City Charter. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. Please refer that to the Committee on Legal Affairs. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go to communications from other city officers and boards, please. Ms. Kent.
Order number 320 from the city clerk, a renewal application for a Class 2 motor vehicle license for Todd's Automotive Repair Service, Inc., DBA Beverly Farms Auto Service.
Please refer that to the Committee on Legal Affairs.
Order number 321 from Councilor Spang, a constituent inquiries relating to Public Service Committee work.
Please refer that to the Committee on Public Services.
Order number 322, Department of Environmental Protection Waterways Regulation Program, Notice of License Application.
Councilors, I would entertain a motion to receive this and place it on file. All those in favor?
Aye.
That carries 9-0.
Order number 323, Department of Public Utilities, Notice of Filing and Public Hearings, Boston Gas Company.
I would entertain a motion to receive this and place it on file as well. All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries 9-0.
Order number 324, Department of Public Utilities, Notice of Filing and Public Hearings, Massachusetts Electric Company.
I would entertain a motion to receive this and place it on file. All those in favor?
Aye.
Carries 9-0.
Order number 325, Notice of Availability for Asbestos Abatement.
I would entertain a motion to receive this and place it on file. All those in favor?
Aye.
That carries 9-0 as well. Thank you. Let's go to unfinished business from our previous meeting, Ms. Kent.
Order number 301-2024, City Clerk, renewal application for a Class 2 motor vehicle license for Burgess Auto Sales and Service, 18 Lothrop Street.
Please refer that to the Committee on Legal Affairs. We have about 15 minutes before our public hearing, so councilors, I would entertain a motion for us to take a break for committee work, and if we have something that doesn't quite wrap up, or I know we'll have one committee that will have to meet after the public hearing, so we'll do a little bit more of that, but I'd entertain a motion now to begin that work. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Let's have legal affairs stay here in council chambers, finance and property in the committee room, and public services on the bench. Thanks, guys.
Call to order Subcommittee on Legal Affairs, 7:31 PM. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello. I want to, excuse me, I want to start by putting orders 209 and 209A on hold. Those are the Pizza Park parking orders. I would, on order number 297, this is the appointment of Christian Heath to the Historic District Commission. Ask if there are any questions, if not, or comments. If not, entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
I'm so used to being able to see the rotundo. What are we doing here?
I know, we're so far. Totally different format. We have a number of holdovers. Councilor Rotunda or Councilor Feldman, refresh my memory, which one Councilor Spang? Spang one is.
That's the,
301. Yeah.
Mr. Chair, can I just ask a question?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Ms. Dupont, are we holding all licenses right now to you so you can do your due diligence with the addresses, signatures, and everything like that?
That is correct.
So I'll move class license 2, 3, and 1 we're holding, correct?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, so you want to hold all of them, they're still taking a look at them?
Yes.
Okay, fine. I did some back and forth with Assistant Solicitor Beth Old Nixon on the statutory background of this, so I'm a little bit more familiar than I was.
Okay.
And I'm going to be reaching out to her with some questions as well, and maybe you and I can touch base with each other about sort of what you're looking at, what your issues are, and so for our next meeting, perhaps we'll figure out a way to move forward.
Sounds good.
Okay. I don't think there is anything else on our, well, actually, I take that back. We have an appointment.
We have two,
Yeah.
317 and 319.
So 319 we cannot act on yet,
I believe 317 is a mayor.
but 317 we can act on. Pardon?
Okay. Is that a mayoral?
It's a mayoral appointment, but it's a staff appointment to a commission.
Okay.
So I don't believe the rule relating to non-staff, in other words, citizens applies to this appointment. And we have no one from the solicitor's office to double check with, but
I have the rules, I'm just not sure which rule it is that
yeah,
we're looking at.
I'm pretty comfortable that we
Okay.
can do that.
Sure.
So this is Order 317, the mayor's appointment of Kenneth Clausen, Assistant Planning Director, to serve on the Design Review Board. Unless there are any questions about that, I would entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 3-0.
So we're now holding things like order number 320 too?
Pardon?
I'm just curious, because it was another renewal application
Yeah, it's a.
tonight, so we're holding
A new
322?
one. So
Okay.
you want to
Yes.
hold that one as well?
Yes.
Okay.
I was just
Yep.
curious. That's all.
Okay, fine. And let's go through the other. So, Ailey Hall, we have to hold. Holding 109, 109A, the rest are renewals. I don't believe, someone said we had 2 appointments, but I think we only have 1 that we can act on tonight. Do we have another?
So 317, we voted to approve, and then 319. Maybe 319 went.
So 319, we have to wait, because it's a mayoral appointment.
That's correct.
To wait
If you
with,
wouldn't mind, committee of the whole, please.
Pardon?
If you wouldn't mind, committee of the whole, please.
Oh, yes. Call to order committee of the whole. Do we have anything else on the agenda as far as you know, Katie? I don't believe we do.
Everything looks good.
Okay. So why don't we just take a moment or two and talk about what things you're looking at regarding the renewal applications for the Class 2 motor vehicle licenses? What issues are you sort of trying to follow up on?
So the applications are just simply incomplete in certain circumstances. Some spots were left blank on the applications and were not checked before they were given to the city clerk to be put on the agenda. So
Okay.
we're just gonna follow up, get some missing information, and then some of the bond information is incorrect as well. The city hall address is not on
Right.
the bond that was going in tonight, order number 320. We had requested that from them, but they didn't give it back to us. That was overlooked before the application was given to the city clerk.
And do we have any deadline issues in terms of acting on these before the end of the year? Do these expire at a certain time at the end of the year?
I believe it's December 31st that they
Okay.
expire.
So we've got some time to,
Yeah,
to get
our
to the
goal is to
bottom.
get them set for the next meeting,
Okay.
that we can vote on them.
Okay, all right, good. Unless members have any other business before the subcommittee, excuse me, I would entertain a motion to adjourn committee of the whole.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And a motion to adjourn legal affairs.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion carries 3-0. We are adjourned at 7:38.
Ready? All right. All right, so we'll call the full council back to order, and we have a little time before our public hearing at 7:45, so we will do some reports from committees. Ms. Kent.
Order number 297, the Committee on Legal Affairs, to whom referred the matter regarding appointment for Christian Heath, 5 South Hardy Street, to the Historic District Commission, have considered said matter and beg leave to follow. Recommend the council approve this appointment.
Questions or comments? Question comes on the acceptance of the proposal and adoption of the order. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Carries 9-0.
Order number 317 was approved by Legal Affairs, but it is a mayor appointment, so it should not be approved till the next meeting. I don't know if we have to undo something, or is it okay? Just to put it in the, Ken Clausen?
Oh,
So I just wanted to make note of that since it was on TV.
okay.
Yeah, no, I've confirmed that the subject to the same rule, that's internal to the staff. So I think our vote is essentially a nullity. We didn't have the authority to do that.
Right.
So we'll just have it stay in legal affairs?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you
Just in
very
case
much.
Ken's watching, I wanted to make sure he knows.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We'll keep it in legal affairs till next time.
Order number 321, the Committee on Public Services, to whom refer the matter regarding a constituent inquiries relating to Public Service Committee work, have considered said matter and beg leave to follow. Receive and place on file.
Are there questions or comments? I'd entertain a motion then to receive and place on file as recommended by the subcommittee. All those in favor? Thank you. It's 9-0.
Order number 312, the Committee on Finance and Property, to whom refer the matter regarding a grant for $163,635 state formula grant from Executive Office of Elder Affairs to support operations of the Council on Aging, have considered said matter and beg leave to follow. Recommend the council approve this request.
Questions or comments on this one? Question comes on the acceptance of the proposal and adoption of the order. All those in favor, aye. Aye. Carries 9-0.
Order number 313, the Committee on Finance and Property, to whom refer the matter regarding a donation of a powerboat with a trailer valued at $19,800 from the Beverly Sailing Association to replace the current outdated underbridge boat. Have considered said matter and beg leave to follow. Recommend the council approve this request.
Questions or comments? Question comes on the acceptance of the proposal and adoption of the order. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Carries 9-0 with our thanks for that donation for that boat.
That's all.
And that's all.
That brings us to.
That does indeed. It's 7:44, so maybe we will begin by reading the order, and then we'll go from there. So this is a continuing public hearing. This is the public hearing on Order 288. It's continued from our previous meeting from November 12th. Also was posted for 7:45. It's continued to today, 7:45 p.m., and this is on National Grid Order 30992374. Ms. Kent.
Order 288, City of Beverly ordered that the City Council of the City of Beverly hold a public hearing on Tuesday, November 12th, which was continued to tonight, at 191 Cabot Street, 3rd floor, Council Chambers, relative to National Grid Work Order 30992374 to install underground facilities on Margin Street. This was in the newspaper on October 25th, 2024.
Thank you, Ms. Kent. We do have a National Grid representative here this evening. Thank you for being here. I know you had a chance to be in our subcommittee with public services, but I'll give you a few moments if there's anything you'd like to mention about this work order, this work request for the full council.
Good evening. My name is Michael Kazadi, and I'm representing National Grid at 44 River Street in Beverly. And for this job, we are petitioning to install a new pole on Margin Street and siphon down that new pole with 2 4-inch conduits across the street on Margin Street to the property of 2 Margin Street to feed them power.
Thank you, Mr. Kazadi. Councilors, are there any questions for Mr. Kazadi at this time? Councilor Houseman. Keep persisting. I know you got it.
This appears to be a connection for the renovation of the youth center down at McPherson, on McPherson Ave, is that correct?
No, this is in connection to the new bridge going in on Bridge Street. So,
Okay,
yeah.
all right, my mistake. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Counselor. Any other questions for Mr. Kazadi or any comments from the council? Are there any members of the public who wish to speak in this public hearing? Seeing none, thank you, Mr. Kazadi. Seeing none, I'll close this public hearing and have heard from the Chair of Public Services that they're comfortable having this referred to the Committee of the Whole, so we don't need to send it back. Thank you very much, Madam Chair, for that. So, councilors, this can be referred just back to the Committee of the Whole now. So are there motion to approve Order 288 before we have any discussion? Are there any comments or questions, any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. That carries 9-0. Thank you very much. That brings us to the end of tonight's agenda. Are there any announcements from members of the council to be shared? Councilor Houseman.
Faster this time. Yeah, I just wanted to mention, given the extensive disruption and impact on our community for the work that's being done by National Grid for the cable transmission project, that orders 323 and 324 might be of note for folks. It's a public hearing related to the 3-year plan for the 2 utilities, National Grid Gas and National Grid Electric, and how they intend to proceed for the next 3 years in terms of the work they're going to be doing on their respective grids, National Grid, electric grid and gas lines. So well worth, if you're interested to either, even if you don't have any comments, to have perhaps tune in to the virtual hearings when they take place, or if you have something you'd like to add, the public hearing is the time to do it. So.
Thank you very much, Councilor Houseman. It's a good reminder. Councilor Feldman.
Yes, we originally had our next meeting of the Financial Forecasting Committee tomorrow, but that has been moved to, would be the second meeting, and it's going to be moved to in place of the third meeting, and we're going to be pushing the process out. So the next meeting will be in December. So,
thank you very much, Councilor Feldman. Anything else from councilors this time? All right, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. That carries 9-0. We are adjourned. Thanks to Kim in the BevCam booth. Thanks to all the members of the public who joined us this evening. And we'll see you next time. Have a good night.